folks, the Let's Play Edna and Harvey, the Breakout. Last we left off, it may seem like we're in exactly the same spot as we were in at the end of the last video, but we're not. Because I started the game all the way from the beginning, and I walked up and down that corridor in the asylum, grinding Edna and Harvey's level until they were level 70. My, did it take so many hours, and it was really difficult between level 25 and 30 because I ran out of healing items. Fortunately, at level 30, Harvey learned the heal both ability, and then we could keep resting and regaining our MP, and then we could just grind eternally. The experience gain eventually became minuscule, but my, was it worth it, because we finally have the "Haha, I fooled you!" You thought for a moment there that we'd actually have an ability that allowed us to sting people as if we were a thistle, but unfortunately, Edna may have been lying just a little bit, and thus I wasted so many hours trying to get to level 70. But I did get lots of awesome other abilities. Edna can actually turn the moon into cheese! She's not going to right now because she's out of MP, but she can. My, her arcane might is unstoppable. Look into her eyes and see the unflinching gaze of a sorcerer without equal. In other news, we managed to get rid of the thistles by the back of the house, revealing the basement window that Harvey used in the tempo morphing sequence right at the beginning of the game to get outside. This is how we're probably going to get in, and though it looks shut, I'm sure we can open it easily.
So this is how it looks from this side.
Indeed.
Hello? Anybody home?
No one, I'm afraid. Let's see if we can open it.
Oh no, it's jammed. On top of everything.
Darn it, we're gonna have to open that. That means more puzzle solving, which we'll easily solve by just taking the window and putting it in our inventory.
This is already mine, I think.
Okay, that's not going to work. Harvey, any advice? Unfortunately, we can't use our knock spell. Again, no MP.
Do you remember the basement, Harvey?
Now that Mattis is gone, it's all ours. We can lock prisoners in there anytime. Yippee!
Are we actually going to have any prisoners? I hope not. Now that's probably going to be something we can use to open up the window, so let's skip the mallet and go straight to the pen.
Oh yeah, let's...
No, Harvey. We are...
That's the same as before. Potholders, surely you can get the window open.
I shouldn't be too gentle with it.
That's a not-so-subtle hint. One that we're going to be heeding later.
Dad used to keep me under a lid down there.
Oh, we know that he used to lock you down there. That was in the first tempo morphing sequence. Signature?
Oh yeah.
No, Harvey. We are home.
That's the same as using the signature in many other places. Dr. Marcel's?
Oh yeah.
No, Harvey. We are...
And that's the same too. Okay, pinking shears versus window.
No, the scissors just don't have enough whammo.
We have an item that can cause enough whammo, but first, we will find a signature on this window.
Oh, no signature to forge here.
Alas, I don't think we'll ever find one. Maybe the master key will open the window.
It can only be opened from the inside.
If only we were inside, then we could use the master key on it. Oh, who am I kidding? It's not going to open anything here, is it? No, it probably isn't. But that doesn't mean I won't try.
It isn't rusted tight. It's just shut normally.
And thus, we need to find a way to normally open it. With a polo mallet. Don't you open all your doors with a polo mallet? Perhaps the toenail can help us here.
No, the toenail just hasn't got enough whammo.
Note that that is a different read of the same line. The game's still impressing me even now, and I get the feeling the shovel might also work as a whammo item. So I'm going to risk using the pliers. These could also be a whammo item.
No, the pliers don't have enough whammo.
And there's a different read of that line. Okay, broken house key, now is your time to shine! In the moonlight, because you're certainly not going to open up this basement window.
It can only be opened from the inside.
A fact we learned from using the master key. Okay, clay imprint, maybe you'll succeed where the broken key failed.
What am I supposed to do? Model an open window next to it?
Sure, I'll wait. Oh wait, you aren't actually going to do that. Okay, okay. Let's use the polo mallet. Aha! Now it is open, and it is no longer something that we can interact with, besides going through. So let's go through. Look at all of the things that were in the first tempo morphing sequence. And we can interact with all of them! Ha-ha! Let us first look at the firewood.
Hey, isn't this the wood from the first flashback?
That it is! There are a lot more leaves and some green goo on the floor, most likely mold or stagnant water, but it's the same wood.
Hello, you logs. Isn't it a bit uncomfortable in the direct vicinity of a furnace?
What? There's a furnace here? Where? Where?
Now that's not uncomfortable. That's paranoid.
Oh, and the furnace, it's right over there. Something that I'm sure is going to be very important pretty soon. And we can just leave. This is not locked, and even if it was locked, we could just use our toenails to get it open, like before. Can we put this in the furnace?
I'm really not cold. I wonder if that's due to the medication.
I couldn't say. Let's grab some firewood.
No, I don't want to wake up the spiders.
Fair enough. The spiders do need their warmth and shelter after all. Harvey?
Does this firewood remind you of anything, Harvey?
Yes, but we already had that flashback.
Ah, I remember.
That we did, though there could be some other things about it that you are only just remembering now, Harvey, what with us being here. Being in a place does wonders for reinvigorating your memory after all. Edna is remembering more things minute after minute.
My items are all still in good condition. They don't have to be burned yet.
That they are, and I'm going to save before I use items there that I won't need for the rest of the game. In fact, I'm going to save right now, because for all I know, we might not need the pen anymore, and I don't want to give up the pen. We'll lose too many things from our inventory if we do. We might even lose the Forged Signatures ability. Now, let us use the pen.
My items are all still in good condition. They don't have to be burned yet.
Okay, we're keeping the pen.
My items are... They don't have...
And the pot holders.
My items are all... They don't have to be...
And the pot.
Oh yeah, let's...
No, Harvey. We're
not going to be scribbling all over the firewood.
My items are all... They don't have...
And we're going to be keeping the pinking shears. Is there a signature in the firewood?
Oh, no signature to forge here.
One day, Edna. One day. Master key?
My items are all... They don't have...
Now the antioxidant.
Wood doesn't get rusty.
That it doesn't. And hey, we got an interaction different from all the others. It was totally worth keeping the antioxidant from the church. Toenail?
My items are all still in good condition. They don't have to be burned yet.
Fair enough. What about the spade?
My items are all still in good condition. They don't have...
That's the same. What about the pliers?
My item... They don't have...
That's the same. And the broken house key.
My items are... They don't have to be burned.
That's not necessarily in good condition, but I understand why you want to keep it. Lastly, the clay imprint.
My items are all... They don't have...
Now let us look at the furnace.
The age-old iron furnace.
That certainly does look age-old.
Hello, old furnace.
Show me how fat your finger is today. If you want to clean me, you'll have to lean in a little more.
Oh, I'd rather not.
Let's not listen to the furnace and lean in. It's probably going to try and eat us. We can open the furnace. That's even more of a blatant hint that we're going to be using it. Now let us take the furnace with us.
I can't do it.
Is it because it's too large and physically attached to the ceiling? It might be that. I understand if that will make you fail. But if we broke it off from the ceiling, could you do it then? Okay, you probably wouldn't do it then because of the spider that has a web right next to it. But it will be worth a try.
Look, Harvey. The old furnace.
You dried Alfred's shoes in it one time. He had to walk all the way home without soles.
You know, the more and more I hear about the stuff you did, Edna, the more I really do think that you were a massive troublemaker, and all the times you got into trouble with your father were actually quite warranted. Now let us use the polo mallet.
Throw my best item in the furnace? Never!
I always thought I was your best item.
Do you want to go in the furnace instead?
Forget I said anything.
Harvey thinking on his feet there. Or rather not on his feet, because his feet aren't touching the ground. Pen?
Oh, yeah.
No, Harvey.
That's the same as before. Pot holder?
The furnace is empty.
And it's also not lit. Pot?
There's nothing in the pot that I can melt.
Yet. What about the barkeeper's signature?
Oh, yeah. Let's scribble all over it and spread the ink around.
No, Harvey.
That's the same as before. Pinking shears?
Ah, come on. I don't want to burn those.
Fair enough. What about the ability to counterfeit signatures? Can we burn that?
Oh, no signature to forge here.
Not even a plaque saying who made it? Darn it. Master key?
What was the complete procedure again? I need something else.
You need the furnace to be on, and then you need to put the key in the pot. We're going to wait on putting the key in the pot because I want to use the key on everything else in the house first. And the house could be quite big.
The furnace is made from stainless cast iron.
The antioxidant is not going to be able to do very much there. Toenail?
Oh yeah, they always crackle so joyfully.
And have we lost it? No, we haven't lost it. Spade?
I have a shovel, but I don't see any coal.
We're gonna have to use something else. Or maybe there's already fuel in there. Pliers?
Maybe I'll be a goldsmith later in life. Who knows?
The future is yet to be determined, after all. Broken house key?
What was the complete procedure again? I need something else.
And I'm going to avoid using the clay imprint on the furnace, because we might lose it in there. Now let us look at the shelf of entirely uninteresting items, because they had no use whatsoever in the Tempo More flashback. Let's see if they have a use now, starting from the top with the cans of paint.
A sensational assortment of sensual summer shades.
Snazzy alliteration there. Now let's have a conversation with them.
Did you see Orange today?
No, he was canned yesterday.
Alas, let us use them.
To be honest, I only like lilac and grayscale.
And I doubt they're there. Let's pick them up.
My favorite color isn't even here. Or is gray in there somewhere?
Possibly, if you rummage around you might find it. Harvey?
What do you think of the colors, Harvey?
You used to sniff the solvents quite often.
Uh-huh. And what do you think of the colors?
You sniffed at those solvents quite frequently.
Really? Oh, look, Harvey. Cans of paint. What do you think of them?
Those are the ones you used to.
Don't forget what you were about to say just now. I think I've discovered all the old cans of paint. Didn't I used to sniff them occasionally?
Nah, can't be. I'm sure I would remember such a thing.
I see what you did there, game. Very clever. Polo mallet?
Our weapon needs some war paint.
We'll play Indians later, Harvey.
How about conflict in the Middle East?
No.
Let us now use our pen.
They're colorful enough without me scribbling on them.
Fair enough. Pot holders?
Those are pot holders, all right, but they aren't paint pot holders.
Alas. I looked at the label. It definitely says that they're not paint pot holders. It says not to be used handling old pots of paint. So let us instead use the pot.
I don't have to repot the paint. Oh, except maybe the English red. There are roots growing over the edge.
There's another pot of English red here? Why did Mattis need so much of that paint? Let us now use this signature here.
They're colorful enough without...
And that's probably going to be the same for Dr. Marcel's signature.
They're colorful...
Yes, indeed. What about the pinking shears?
I have everything here to make a great Christmas present for Dad. Everything but Dad himself.
Oh, That's sad. Is there a signature here we can forge at least?
No bignature, no pignature, no signature.
Oh. What about the master key? Can we use that here?
No, I like the color.
Gold is a very snazzy colour after all. Antioxidant?
There is no rust there. Dad used all the rust color when he painted the barbecue.
We've heard that one before. What about the toenail?
This is not the time to paint toenails.
What about using the spade?
How about a racing stripe for our shovel?
Not now, Harvey.
And thus Harvey was once again stunned, as Edna looks Fun in the face and says, "I've got better things to do." And that she does.
Shall we paint the pliers some eyes?
Oh, Harvey.
That's not going to happen, Harvey. What about the broken house key?
A new layer of paint won't do any good.
Not at all. What about the clay imprint?
Whatever I model from this clay, it will not be colorful and it will not have a beard. Those will be the key features.
I see what you did there. Now let us look at these nails.
Uselessness in a jar.
Some people would argue that that would be a paper cup in a jar, but I disagree with them. The paper cup was by far the most useful item in our inventory, that I still mourn the loss of.
I don't have time for a conversation with rusty nails.
Oh, hopefully you'll have time for the rest of the items. Let's use them.
They were already useless 10 years ago.
You never know how much more useful they might have become after a decade.
They were already useless 10 years ago.
Harvey, what do you have to say about this thing full of nails?
Oh, look, Edna.
Leave that trash alone. We've got more important things to do.
And Edna shut down Harvey immediately. I wonder how many interactions we'll actually be able to do with these.
The stuff in this cupboard is as useless in reality as it was in the flashback.
Let's try getting a signature from these.
The stuff in this cupboard...
I get the feeling we're not going to get any reactions from our inventory items with these.
The stuff in this...
And that is indeed the case. So let us instead look at the cardboard box.
An old, boring cardboard box.
But have you looked inside? There may be exciting mysteries for you to solve.
Hello, old, boring cardboard box.
I don't think the cardboard box has very much to say.
I'd rather keep my items on me.
Fair enough. Can we take the box?
I haven't needed inventory assistance up to this point, so I'm not going to start now.
That is a good point. You haven't. You've been able to carry a lot of things with ease.
Oh, look, Edna.
Leave that trash alone.
And that's exactly the same as before. What if I try and use the antioxidant on it?
The stuff in this cupboard...
That's going to be the same as trying to use the nails. So let's move on to the cloth.
I never understood what those gleaming white towels were doing in the coal cellar.
And we'll likely never find out.
Are you woven from 100% wool?
Why? Are you looking for a nice rub-down?
Now that's typical. The whitest towels have the dirtiest minds of all.
Now let us see if we can use the towels.
They were already useless 10 years ago.
And now we'll try and pick them up, likely without any success.
They were already useless 10 years ago.
That was to be expected. Harvey?
Oh, look, Edna.
Leave that trash alone.
And finally, let's try using an item. What about the pliers?
The stuff in this cupboard...
Fair enough. There is this oil here that we can have a look at. I'm sure this will be useful. It's probably not going to be useful, but we do need to be thorough.
I used to drink that all the time.
You probably shouldn't have been drinking that, Edna. In fact, you definitely shouldn't have been drinking that.
Ah! You're making my throat itch.
It wasn't good for you then, and it's not good for you now, Edna. Hopefully using this isn't going to make you drink more.
Same tenacious taste as ever.
Tenacious is certainly a word you could use. It probably tasted horrible.
It was useless 10 years ago, and I don't think it's changed much.
The taste apparently hasn't changed, though. Harvey?
Oh, look, Edna.
Leave that trash alone.
We're not going to be able to do anything there. What about using the pinking shears?
The stuff in this cupboard is...
And that's the same. Finally, the marmalade that looked terrible 10 years ago, that probably looks even worse now.
It's so non-perishable that Dad used it as an ointment for bruises.
Ugh.
No time for jamming with the marmalade.
I see what you did there, Edna. Very clever.
What for? To spread it like asphalt on the highway?
Why not? You could fill in a pothole with that.
I think it's hard and fast to the cupboard by now.
We could get it off there with the polo mallet, though we might very well just shatter the glass doing so, and thus unleash the marmalade, and then the world would be doomed.
Oh, look, Edna.
Leave that trash alone.
We're not going to be able to do anything with the marmalade, are we? No, we're not.
The stuff in this...
Ah, well. And so, folks, when we come back, we will leave the basement, keeping in mind that the furnace is here and that we can use the furnace to make a new copy of the key and go and explore everywhere up there. Maybe we can unlock the front door from the inside or the back door. And then we could easily hop between outside and inside without having to go into the basement. I do doubt that's going to be the case, but hey, I can hope. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.